Veterans from the Falklands War have been commemorating the loss of HMS Coventry. The Type 42 destroyer was sunk by Argentine Sky Hawk Jets on May the 25th, 1982. 19 lives were lost, but 170 crew members were rescued by HMS Broadsword, who had herself been damaged by air attack. Tim Cooper's been to Plymouth to meet a man whose life was changed forever by the events of that day.
Michael Roach has travelled to Plymouth from his Sunderland home to think back 30 years to the sinking of HMS Coventry and his own experiences of the Falklands War. He was 18 and a half and fresh out of training as his ship HMS Broadsword broke off from her regular duties to steam south to the Falklands. On May the 25th, 1982, Broadsword and HMS Coventry were ordered to a position northwest of Falkland Sound to be in part a decoy to draw Argentine jets away from other ships at San Carlos Bay. As Michael explains, the pair of ships soon found themselves targeted by Argentine Sky Hawks.
It was a Second World War picture you were looking at. I was a gun on the upper deck. Everyone was firing at these aircraft, and all of a sudden these bombs just come off these planes. We got one in ourselves. Nothing happened. Put a big hole in the starboard side of the ship, but the Coventry was obviously disabled.
HMS Coventry was fatally damaged and within 20 minutes had capsized, sinking shortly after. Broadsword launched her sea boats to pick up the crew, many of whom were clinging to life rafts.
They were climbing up the scrambling nets. There was people with blood all over their faces. They were cut to bits, and you just didn't know what to feel. You know, it was, I don't know, it was something I've never experienced ever in my life. There was a lot of people traumatised. They didn't know what to say.
19 members of HMS Coventry's crew died that day, here remembered at the Falklands Memorial in Plymouth. Michael remained in the Royal Navy until 1992, but the events of the Falklands War lingered with him, although for much of the time following the conflict, he was unaware of their influence.
I was having nightmares, I was having flashbacks all the time, and I was thinking, what's causing all this? And I didn't know what was causing it.
5 years ago, a representative of the charity Combat Stress identified he was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder.
I've learned a hell of a lot through the therapists that I've actually worked with, because once you're up in combat stress, you get a one-to-one, you have a one-to-one care worker, and you can obviously say anything to them.
Michael and his wife have joined his past shipmates from HMS Broadsword for a reunion. He's come to terms with his past, but understands it was a close call. Where would you be without combat stress and their intervention 5 or so years ago?
Who knows? I could have been dead.